Good afternoon, all music people from around the world. It's Dean from Success Secured. Progressive, extremely fast and modern method for learning bass guitar, and also other instruments and music in general. So today I will talk about Master of Puppets album. It is just short introduction how we can approach to analyze bass line in this particular album. So very short. So Master of Puppets, Metallica, 1986. One of the most important album in metal history. So very specific genre, modern, technologically advanced. Like I said, also very progressive and advanced spectacular and epic genre. Yeah. So in this album, we can approach using many different methods. So this is video number 17. Said many times before, my method, it's about constant change. So not just classic metal, what is bass guitar, what can you do on bass, but how you can think about music in general and bass guitar. So, Master of Puppets album, using my method, Success Secured, what is really important to understand here is that Metallica did really important record. It's one of classic example, which can be some kind of guide for today's musician. It's not just about a spectacular album, but it's also what is extremely important. It's one product from A to B. That's really important here because it's album number 3rd after Ride the Lightning. It's something similar approach. So you have Battery, Fast is Fight Fire with Fire. After we have Master of Puppets, title track, similar to Ride the Lightning. Then mid-tempo track number 3. Again, you have number 4, Welcome Home Sanitarium, similar to Fade to Black. And again, Disposable Hero, Let Them Sad, Orion, and Damage. Yeah. What is really important here, we have extreme good production, very advanced production. Yeah, I can say that for this album, order of the songs, and type of production, it's one of the main things. So production is one of the key elements, of this spectacular album, from the first to the last note. Yeah. Very from the start to the end of the album, it's some kind of blood to the album. Production. sometimes it's like more clear, sometimes not so clear, but production is crucial here in the middle of the album. From the one side, we can talk about the speed, yeah, as a second element, and third element will be one of the Metallica standard of playing, so virtuosity of playing. So we have production, we have speed, we have as a third element virtuosity. Of course, right album for the middle of 80s, had the opportunity to be part of the like generation of speed metal revolution from early 80s to the, let's say, late 80s. And Master of Puppets came out in the middle of the speed metal revolution. So now, in one of my future videos, I will compare two albums. And I will ask you, what do you think? Can you compare, let's say, this album to another album? It can be in any genre, in metal, jazz, pop, classic rock, and so on. But here, this is video number 17. You can check my all previous 16 videos. Today I'm talking for the first time about something which is not strictly the head of my method, but I would like to talk this album. So in Success Secured, one of the topics is analysis. Analysis is crucial. Analysis, if you want to be a musician, if you want to be involved with the music, analysis is crucial. Not just in music, but in academy, in any knowledge, scientific, artistic, whatsoever, analysis. So here we have Master of Puppets, album, instrumentation, drums, mainstream drums, bass guitar, rhythm, lead guitar, vocals. And what is really important here, bass. It's extremely important instrument. As you can see here, you can listen what Cliff Burton is doing. It's incorporating drum section with the guitar section. It's rumbling like thunder. Bass, extremely strong force. Really important part, it's a bass guitar. It's a classic example. And here you can see the members of the band, one of the most successful band in the history of music industry, band from USA, Metallica. So, Master of Puppets. It's, if we talk specifically about production, it's like production is like environment, crucial, but every instrument has got its part. That's the production as an organism, as a mechanism, yeah, as an organism of change. Here, as you can see, like production, it's the core, the bone of this album. Production done in Denmark, produced by Metallica and Flaming Rasmussen, mixed by Michael Wagner. So, excellent job, beautiful, enjoyable, very entertaining, and very sophisticated product for listening, not just for metal, but in general. It was like a revolution in 1986. Metallica's Master of Puppets. Now, why I took this album? Because if we talk about experience, you have to listen this album. This is the classic example of, if you want to create music, you have to think in some parameters about this album. How to capture first, not just, but it's really, really important, how to capture the listening from the beginning to the end, the whole body, attention, his mind, his knowledge. Very, very, very crucial example in writing very, very successful music. 36 years old album, almost 4 decades, but still important. So with my method, I will teach you how to think of the bass line. How to describe the bass player here. What he's doing. Why, when, for how long. As I said before, why is the hardest question to answer. It's part of philosophically. Mechanism, planets, universe. Include Burton here. It's organically going into all musical elements, organically, natural, very sophisticated. Using method of flying into the album, which is very easy to listen, very enjoyable, very stands as almost perfect product from all sides. As I said before, production, speed, and virtuosity. Triangle of this album. Bass brilliantly jumping between basic organism, some kind of contour, like music concrete. Yeah. Barton is taking bass from, of course, 1986. It's a very high type of technology which is supporting this album. But Cliff Burton, so transforming technology into mechanical play, so very organically transformation from highly sophisticated to almost natural organism. If you don't follow me, if you don't understand me, I would say, using another word. So his bass playing is really organically, like came out of the earth. Every note here, it's important. In bass here, it's not just bass guitar, it's much more. So it's perfect blending with the other instruments. It's a perfect blending. Because of that, I said, production is very advanced for 1986, very, very advanced. And bass is combined with the other instruments, of string, guitar instruments. It's perfect, like saturating his notes with the other instruments. So my highly recommendation for listening this album. And for better understanding of my method, I will compare this album with another album. Okay, I don't want to tell you the name, second album here, but I will take one album from 1980s because it's production, like just not just historically, well, matter of production, but it's also matter of genre. I will try to find some not so extremely different type of album, but different. And that will be really interesting to see how different album with different approach, let's say, can be similar to this one. Why? Why this one? Because this album it's also an example of extreme album. Not because speed metal is extreme genre, but it's extreme in some really crucial elements like energy, like a type of sound of timbre. There is a lot of pressure in playing, downstroke picking. It's really time oriented because it's fast. You can feel like heartbeat. It's really important here. And you have to think really fast and execute it, really fast. So speed here, it's, as I said, element number 2, but also virtuosity number 3. In combination with speed, yeah, but there is also factor number 4. It's a composition. So now we have 4 elements: production, speed, virtuosity, and composition. It's a perfect cube. geometry of music. That's the master part. Classic. With my method, Success Secured, which is primarily written for the bass guitar, but also guitar, string instruments, excuse me, but also can be very, very useful for understanding music in general. When you have speed, like in speed metal, there is constantly change speed. You die fast. There is a change. You're going really, 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 really fast. You have to think fast. You have to create fast. Yeah. Because of that, Success Secured can help you to understand and to describe this album not just as a piece of sophisticated, modern, technological, advanced music genre for late 20th century, but also as a one prototype for future. As I said, in one of my book, I will talk about my books later. Yeah. If you follow me from the start of my lectures, this is lecture number 17, then until now, you understand much better, much sophisticated what I'm talking about. So, buy this album, listen to this album, and then I'm always open to your question. Yeah. Still, I'm waiting the correct answer for my first question. Just imagine a situation that where I'm bass guitar teacher and my students. What will be my first question to you? That's how I'm starting my learning process. Success Secured. This is the album. We'll spend one lesson talking about this album and another album. I will show you, I will demonstrate to you in next of my, I think, one of my next video, two album comparison, but I'm planning to start much bigger, much wider teaching, like tour, doesn't matter face to face or online, where I will use 3 or 5 albums. So epic comparison. And I will tell you what is here the most important part of the bass playing. Doesn't matter, it's some kind of compositional tricks or playing techniques. There is something. There is. And giving you some kind of homework so you can think, you can understand what is the most important part, the most important signature of this bass lines, which I call it here, this album. So, I'm going into the last part of today's lecture. Yeah. I took this album. Of course, I had lots of albums. Yeah. But I took this one, as I said, because it's a one mixture between the technology and some more organic nature organism, natural. I can talk about this album as natural technological product. Natural. Because it is natural for him. It's really, really natural. It's some kind of a base standard. Yeah. Came out directly in the mid of 80s, beginning of 1986. Yeah. When metal was big, big, big part of music industry. It was really high on the list. 1986, 1987, 1988. It was like some kind of thunderstorm. Really, really clean pathway into mainstream music. Millions of these records sold. Millions. It's today one of them, I can say, monument of 1980 music. So that's why I took this record. Yeah. Plus, it's extreme in many ways. Yeah. Yeah. How can I apply extreme record to organic teaching method? Think about that. Write me your question, your thoughts, what do you think about success secured teaching method? What is really interesting here, we can talk in method, usually approximately some average level of bar, number of bars per minute will be around 28 to 40. So if, let's say, if you have 1 hour of record, yeah, if you have 40 bars per minute, you will have 2,400 bars of music. If you have repetition, probably will have 2,400, and in total, and you have 4 repetition, so you have 600 bars of written music. Just to mention as a one fact, mathematically, but also very creative, part of composing music. I'm not saying this album. So if this album is under 1 hour, in general, we can take, let's say, 2,000 bars as some kind of border. Yeah. some kind of line, average line in the modern music. Yeah. We can approach to analyze master of puppets, counting how many bars are recorded on the album. I hope you enjoyed my today's lecture. See you next time. I'm going to talk about next album. Yeah. It will be again a single album. Then we will have comparison with two albums. You can write me specifically name of the album, your favorite album, and I can do comparison with your favorite album, including your favorite title. Yeah. I'm open to do that. Just feel free and write me. What do you think? Okay. For now, that's all. All the best to you, to your families, and see you next time. Bye.